Hey, how's it going? Welcome back to the channel. So today we have a fun looking puzzle in front of us, and the reason why I actually want to do this puzzle is because of the title of this. There is a very certain movie reference that this has, and it's modified obviously to work with the concept of the Sudoku, but I'm wondering if anybody gets that. If you do know what this reference is, put it down in the comments. I would just say Modulo Oblongata. And you can go from there, see if you can figure that out. Anyway, but it is by Cygne. Let's look at the rules and see what's going on here. So normal Sudoku rules. So every row, column, and 3x3 box will contain the digits 1 through 9 once each. Then we have our modulo line, so the mod 3 line. Any group of 3 adjacent digits along a teal mod line must contain digits with distinct values modulo 3. And all that really means is that if you take any of the digits from 1 to 9 and you divide them by 3, well, 3 of them will have the same remainder, another 3 will have the same remainder, and the last 3 will have the same remainder. So those groupings are, of course, 1, 4, 7, 2, 5, 8, and 3, 6, 9. So in this section, each of these will be one of those 3 groups, and whatever the pattern is that we work out is going to just continue the entire way around this long mod 3 line. Then we have Kropki to work out some other things here. So we've got digits separated by black Kropki dots on a 2-to-1 ratio. That's our normal black Kropkis. So these guys will be in a 2-to-1 ratio, or one of them will be double the other. And then the white Kropkis are consecutive digits. And those are all the rules. So with that said, let's just jump in this one. Links in the description below. Let's have some fun. Now, I think what I want to do is start down here, because we're going to know a couple of things about what's going on here. First off, you can't put 5, 7, or 9 in a black Kropki, so these are 5, 7, 9. We're also going to know that these 3 sets are going to be 1, 2, 4, 8, and 3, 6. Well, let's start thinking about, because of these Kropkis here, what the heck can this one be? Can it be a 1, 2? The answer is going to be no, because if you put a 1 here, these are both 2s. If you put a 2 here, you have to put a 1 and a 3, but the 1 has to go with the 2. The exact same thing is going to happen with the 4, 8, so this is the 3, 6. Now we can say this is the 3, because we have to gap between the 3, 6 and the 1, 2, and the 4, 8. Well, the 3 is the only thing that can do that. And then these will be 2 and 4. These will be 1 and 8. And as you'll see, we have a 3, we have one from the 2, 5, 8, and we have one from the 1, 4, 7. Same will go for these guys. So we are on to our Modulo Oblongata. Now we can just take these guys down the way and start thinking about every third cell we're going to have from the same value, or from the same group of digits. So let's just run down the line and put these guys in, then we'll start removing options. U comes back to U, of course, then to U, and U. So these are all from the 3, 6, 9. Of course, these can't be 3s, these can't be 6s. And we're going to have to be able to figure out how to differentiate these other guys. So maybe we have to use some of these other bits of Kropki to do that. Now, this guy's not necessarily going to tell us anything, because it's something similar to what's going on here. You could put a 9 here, an 8 here, that'll work. You could put a 6 with the 5, or a 7 and a 3 with a 2 or a 4, and those will all work in terms of the mod line. So let's go over here. This has to be from 1, 2, 4, and 8, and there has to be a 2 and a 4 on it, and this one can't be a 1 or an 8. Let's see if we can make anything work from there. And also what we can probably want to do is start thinking about how the coloring of these goes, particularly now these 3 groupings. Because if we think about, let's go through the line here. This one, nope, not you. So, this one, I can count. This one, you, and you. And then we'll come back around this way and see how it loops around. So you, booba dooba doop, you, and you will all be of the same grouping. And then now, we don't have to necessarily color all the rest of them. Let's just put these two in, knowing that they will be of the same group. Now, can we figure out what these will be? Because what these are is going to determine that. Because if this is a 1, 2, 4, let's say, these have to be from the 2, 5, 8 grouping, because we've used 2 of the 1, 4, 7s. We can't put 7 in both these, and we already know that these are not part of the 3, 6, 9. The problem is if we put a 2, 4, 8, these are also then part of the 1, 4, 7, so they're kind of grouped together. But let's start thinking about maybe how we can sort those out. Because again, if this is 1, 2, 4, these are 5s, 8s. If this is 2, 4, 8s, these are 1s and 7s. Now this can't be 1 or 8. Problem is, we are still in the same place we were. So we have to find someplace else where we can get between these two groups. Where the heck is it? Now we know this has to be from the 1, 2, 4, 8 grouping. And 1, 2, 2, 4, 4, 8, and none of those actually help us because, again, they are all from this different sets of groups. 3, 6, 9, 3, 6, 9. Do we have anything looking at anything? Maybe we just have to get off this line for a second and see what's happening in the remainder of it. Maybe that's what we want to try to do. Or we can start thinking about these guys not being 9s. What can you be? Or you? Because they'll, again, this is going to be an orange one. So can't be 3, can't be 3, 6, 5, 7, or 9. So let's think. 1, 2, 4, and 8 are the options. No, that still doesn't really help us any. Okay, maybe we do need to color these guys in and then see what the leftovers are. So we're talking about you. Yeah, okay, let's do that. These are going to be all the remaining orange digits. Let's put all that in and see if we can find something. That one, that one, that one, that one, and that one. Okay. I guess we should go all the way with it in terms of the coloring just to make it apparent what we exactly have going on. So let's go right here. We need to start getting into this coloring system. This is going to be orange. This is going to be purple. This is going to be yellow. This is going to be orange. This has to be purple because maybe we can then start to coordinate these guys back a little bit better. You're purple, you're yellow, you are purple. You can't be purple, but you could be yellow or orange. All right, where are we at? You can't be yellow, but you could be purple or orange. What about you? Okay, here we go. I just didn't see this guy popping up here. You are the yellow. And I don't think we can determine these two. Well, yeah, we can. This is purple. What I'm talking about, I just didn't fill it in, which means this is orange. 2 or 4 doesn't help me any. What does that tell me? You are purple. What else can we do? No purples. These are yellow, orange. This one's purple. Why did I miss these? They're right there in front of my face. You two are yellow, orange. I don't think we can say which one is which. You two are yellow, orange. You're also yellow, orange. One of these is going to be purple. It's this one. Okay. That means you're the 9. Let's do that. And again, we're back to having our designations of yellows and oranges that we have to somehow figure out what they are. Okay. How are we going to do that? Maybe we should be putting in the rest of these oranges that we've discovered, or purples, excuse me, and run with it from there. We know that's 6, we know that's the 3, 9, we know that's the 3, 6. Does anything correlate back now where we can get some more info in? Because if we can get like one of these guys determined, it will start to put us on to these other colors. How do we do that? Yeah, because these could be multiple things still, which we can't quite determine which one is which. What about you? You're not from 3, 6, and 9, and you're not from 2 or 4. So you're 1, 5, 7, 8. And those are not looking there. Okay. Well, where's this little button we need to push to get us going in the right direction? These two have to be something that groups together without using purple in between them. So what could those be? 7, 5, and 8. Let me do a quick think here. 1 and 2. Yeah, well, 1, 2. Obviously, you can't put 5s and 7s on here. So 1, 2, 2, 4, or no, or 4, 8. It's still the same grouping of things here, and it's not telling us which is which. What am I not seeing here that's painfully important to be able to figure out what we're doing? One of these two is a 9. One of those two is a 9. Nothing else is on those that's pointing at anything. That's a 3. This would be a 2 and a 4. If it's a 6, it's a 5 and a 7, but... Oh, okay. There it is. Goodness gracious, it took forever. This can't be a 3. I don't think I would have noticed that until I saw the 9s there, but if this is a 3, it has to be flanked. Well, does it really? No, it doesn't. Sugar. I was thinking of this more as being Kropki, causing that to occur. Nope. I'm not seeing what this is for some reason. That's not good. 1, 2, 4, 8. The remaining 1, 2, 4, 8 goes in here, and the remaining 5, 7 goes in here. Whatever happens to be left over. But that again doesn't tell me anything. What about you? You can't be a 6. Is that helpful? Because of the 5, 7. That means one of these two is, so you're not. It could very well be a 9 with an 8. Or it could be a 3 with a 2 or a 4. It still doesn't seem to get us anywhere. If this is a 9 with an 8, well, this could still be 3 or 6 to go with the 1, 4, or 7. Because these are two different coloring groups. Yeah, I can't figure out the combination of these, or the finalization of these colors, but don't necessarily feel like that's actually would tell us anything anyway. If that was 8. Let's say this was a 9, 8. That means this is also an 8. Because these would be from the 2, 5, 8s. This would be the 4, this would be the 2, this would be the 1. The opposite would be true if this was the 9, and this was the 8. This would be the 8 and the 2, and the 1 and the 4. But that could certainly work too. One of these is a 6, so you're not. One of those is a 9, so you're not. Okay, 3, 6. Holy crap, we get a 9. Now again, I don't know if it actually tells us anything, but one of these is a 9, so you're not. It does, it gives us this 9. This is a 9. Okay, there it is. Goodness gracious, that took forever. Wasn't looking in the right places. Now, we know what these are. This is 8. This is 8. This is 2, 1, 4. We can get to business. Wow, not 2, 8. This one has to be from the 1, 4, 7. So it's not 2, 8. This has to be from the 2, 5, 8. So it is the 2. Which means these are a 1, 4 pair. That makes complete sense. And you have to. This guy is the 2, 5, 8. So you're 5. You are not 1 or 7. You are not 5 or 8. So this one is 7. Good. This has to be from 1 and 4. Can't be 1. It's 4. You're 1. You're 4. This is 8. Now let's go through the line. What are you guys? These are also the 1, 4s. So that's not a 2. You are a 2. And now let's keep running. What are you? You're 7. You're 2. You are 5. You're 1 or 4. So you are 1, 4. This has to be 8. This has to be 2. This is 5, 8, 2, 5, 5. This is 8 and 2 and 5. This is 8 and 5 and 2. Once you get into it, I mean, it's just throwing digits on it at the moment. So this is 8. This is either the 2 or the 5. We can't quite determine that yet because we haven't finalized the coloring yet. These are 1, 7 pairs, so you're a 4. 4, I said, thank you. This is 4 because of that 1 there. This is either 1 or 7. That's 1 or 7. This is 1, 7. Good. This is 4, which then says this has to be 3. That's going to set a lot of these other guys off. This is 6. These are not 6s. Okay. These are a 4, 7, so that's 7 and 4. This is 1. This is 7. All right. You're not the 9s, so you are 3, 6, the 1, 7. These are 1, 4, so this is the 1, 4. This is 7, 1. This has to be the 6, 9, 3. And that should finally be enough to get all of this taken care of. 6, 3, 6, 3. This will be 6 and 3, and 9 and 6, and 9 and 3 and 6, and 3 and 6. And we'll have to figure out these guys. Let's go through our Sudoku, see what we have left over. There has to be a 1 in here, so this has to be a 7. That gives us the 5 and the 7. This is yellow. This is orange. Now we can finish our coloring. This has to be the yellow 1. This has to be the orange 5, which means you're the 2. You are the 8, which is orange. You are now yellow. All right, finish it up. This is 7 and 1 and 3. There we go. So we solved the puzzle after quite a bit of digging to get into it, but we finally got there. Oh, good God, this thing's got 1,400 solves in 12 days. Pretty good. Like I said, it took me a while to dig through, so I had to, just this one spot eventually got to it, and that set everything off. But fun puzzle. Just took me a little while to dig into it to get started, but once I did, I think it took me maybe 5 minutes or so to put all the digits in. So those are always kind of fun puzzles to do, where you just do a complete coloring, and then the second you get it all done, you figure out what's what, you can just plow through it. So anyway, fun puzzle. Hope you all enjoyed it, and we'll see you in the next one. Thanks a lot.